Welcome to a new video with our home in the forest. I am Caroline and I'm living with my husband Misha and our two little children in Central Portugal. We moved about 1.5 years ago here to our forest farm, and today I would like to gather my thoughts about city versus countryside life. If you're new here, hop over to the playlist where I'm already talking about our experience of how we found our land and our journey a little bit a sneak into our private life. But if you have questions, drop them here, let me know. A little disclaimer, this is our experience. I am not saying anything negative about living in the city, living in the suburbs, just to get that out there. Sometimes opinion is mistaken as general truth. It's just our truth. And maybe there is somebody out there, if you're watching now and you're wondering if you should go to the countryside, if you should live a bit more remotely, this video might be for you. For us, we have been for many years looking for a piece of land. We always knew we wanted to work for ourselves, not for a big company anymore, but it became much more imminent when we had our second child, and we knew we would not want more children, and our oldest son became 4, 5, and we wanted to settle somewhere. Of course, children are resilient, you can move them later in life, but this was just our general thought. If I can do it now, let's do it now. It is so many factors that played in there. Our age, now we are getting into our 40s. The children are becoming more mature, they are more aware of social networks, they are making friends. So ideally we wanted to move at that time. So that is about the time. So now, why the country life and the factors that made us decide for coming to a village, not even a village, we cannot even walk to the village. Let's start with what I think is positive about city life and why it's not necessary for us. I grew up in a small town in Germany. Later, after studies, I moved to Hamburg, and then I have been living many years in Lisbon, and we moved from Lisbon to a smaller town on the south margin of the Tejo River. I have never lived that remotely, but enjoy it completely. And let me tell you why. For me, the positive things about city life are walkability. I do enjoy not to use a car to get to places. I do enjoy to walk to the supermarket, to walk to the kindergarten, school. That's maybe also from my childhood. It was a small town. I can get everywhere walking or by bike. And that would be kind of the only thing that I'm missing about city life. Then you're thinking restaurants, going out, cinema, theater. But in the last years, maybe it's a personal thing, but in the last years we have been doing it less. And we are people who are enjoying all our projects, handicrafts, woodworks, And we have been always saying we need a garage. We actually had a garage to do work. That was more our thing. So, or we do enjoy to stay at home, invite friends for cooking together. So the whole going out thing wasn't really a matter that bothered us. But now, if you're not sure if city life is for you or if moving out of the city is for you, we notice, and I think that's the biggest trend, and that's how suburbs kind of come to existence, right? When we are having kids, we suddenly notice how much they need nature and how much they need time outside the house. Probably when we are in our 20s, 30s and working and coming home, Netflixing, that's fine. But for our kids, we want more. And that was all right. In the town where we have been living, we had a big terrace, 40 square meters terrace. We only walked 2 minutes to the park, and still we felt kind of trapped. It was the same things every weekend, and we felt more like we have to make an effort to entertain ourselves. We noticed that a lot of our friends who are having kids now, they are moving to the suburbs. And for us, this was not really an option, money-wise, but also for me, that's like a lose-lose situation. I'm losing the proximity. I still have to use now the car to get to places, and I only own a few square meters of backyard, if even. That was not really an option for us, even though I know that's for many people. And I think, of course, if you are really dependent on a workspace somewhere, a location, of course, that's probably the best you can do. But for us, it was then more, okay, we need a village life or a piece of land close to a village to actually make it worth going to places by car, if that makes sense. Because for me, that's really the biggest factor, the only downside of living here on our land is whenever we need to go somewhere, we go by car. That's a weird cut, isn't it? I filmed yesterday and burned the rice. I was thinking, what is smelling so weirdly? Do our guests, did they burn something? I totally forgot that I had rice on the stove. And then I did not notice that my camera was overheating, so I also didn't have the footage. And oh boy, I was so annoyed. Where did we leave off? And I need to tell you, I was considering to just put the same outfit again. The hair is still the same. And then I thought, no, come on. I am not a content creator. I want to show you my real life. And but that's how fast it goes, right? You want to improve your content. You want to get better and better. And so, yeah, that was my thought. So that's why different outfit. I don't do that. I tell you the real story, and I am not here to just do content for the sake of content. I want to show you what we're doing. I would love so much if you were asking questions or tell me what you're thinking so that we can really go into a conversation rather than me just showing things, because I really don't know what you like or why you even subscribed, why you're here watching. This time, because we are a bit in a low energy, low creativity phase. Also because now it's a high season and we have more guests. Our days are mostly cleaning and keeping the quinta in shape. So it's not so much projects that I can show. I don't know if like vlog or one day in our life is interesting to you, but so far I haven't made the effort to film that. There will be definitely more projects coming. You can be expecting some house renovations soon, so before the next rain season. My God, that is all going so much faster than we were expecting, but we definitely need to renovate the house or at least fix the roof. We already discussed that probably the roof will be a more simple fix rather than a real renovation, because we don't have the money for more. Currently, we are working on a small barbecue area that we also want to use then in winter. Also, when guests are using our sauna, that they can also make a barbecue and like enjoy a whole day here in our farm, like a small experience or like an event that you can book. Anyhow, getting ahead of myself. What did we talked about why suburbia isn't for us. I totally understand why people go to the suburban area. They want their kids to be in nature. They want a garden, and maybe they need to stay close and in proximity of a big city because they work there and it's the easiest way to commute somewhere. But that wasn't for us, and I even have friends who are working remotely and still doing more of a suburban setup because we are afraid that we will be missing city life. John, if you're watching, hello. He was asking me the first time we met again after a couple of years, and I told him, hey, I've been moving to the countryside. And his first question was, oh, isn't it boring? Aren't you missing city life? And Misha and I have been talking about this regularly last year, how much less we need this urban distraction. I have a theory about that. I have the theory that if we are, probably that's totally depending on character and what kind of person you are, and if you are happy in an urban setup, go for it. It's really just what we experience. And if somebody out there is looking into pros and cons and should we move to the countryside, maybe you connect with what I'm saying. We are so tired after a full day of work here, and also so fulfilled, not so mentally exhausted as with a 9 to 5 office job, that we are just happy to be here, to go to bed, often fall asleep with the kids, and get up early, work again on the farm. Being with animals is very calming, and doing these handicrafts and projects and woodwork is very creative in a sense. Not all of it, of course. We're having also chores that we don't necessarily enjoy, but overall we are fulfilled and tired. So the need to go out is much less. This need to let some steam off, drink a beer, going to the coffee at the weekend as a distraction, to do something good for yourself, really occurs very rarely. And if so, we still have a lot of things near. That probably depends what you are looking for. But if I am in suburbia, or even if I am in town, when we were in town and I wanted to meet friends, so I wanted to go to a specific place, I still have to go 30, 40 minutes, an hour by metro or by car to get to places. So I guess it depends where you're really moving. If you're like super remote, we didn't want to go. We talked about this in our off-grid video. I can link it here. But that we didn't want that. We didn't want to go on a dust road for 20 minutes until we reach places. That was too much off-grid and boring to us, maybe. Here I still cannot really walk anywhere, but I am in maximum 5 minutes in the village. I can drop off the kids for kindergarten and If we need a supermarket, a bakery, it's all there. And then we take approximately 30 minutes to 20 minutes, 30 minutes to the towns around here that are super pretty. Viseu, Guarda, Gouveia, Ceia. We have Serra Estrela, a big mountain in winter to go skiing. So we are quite central, and I feel there is more to do around here than when we were in the town near Lisbon. I felt much more limited in the things we could do, and maybe we had to change a little bit our habits. Right, we don't go to the supermarket at 8 p.m. anymore to pick up a beer or a wine. We need to think about that. I changed the habits. That's also a money question besides other things, but we changed the habits about going out and going for coffee or for the bakery, for pastries. We just have something at home to do or to eat at the weekend as a little treat. We don't need the treat somewhere else. We go here to our little pool. We can go to the river. We have so many things to enjoy life here directly at the farm that this is the biggest plus for me, that I actually don't need to leave. So the need that I had before to feel like I can walk to places is absolutely balancing out with the fact that I have everything here that I need. If I wouldn't need to go for shopping or groceries, I could well stay here for weeks probably without really getting bored. We also notice that we have much less the need to travel and to go to places. We have loved doing road trips and to discover new places, and that has changed. It can be an age thing, but also Misha and I have been talking that again it is so fulfilling. We chose a place here that is so fulfilling. I mean, we are doing a touristic project, so people quite literally come here to spend vacation. And that's also how it feels for us. It's like an endless vacation because we have everything here. Like I said, a river beach. We built this small pool. We will have a sauna in winter. Like, it's a dream. We really are slowly building our dream place. I think that it's always something when we were looking for properties. Of course, there is the balance to buy something that has a proper value, like retail. If I would want to sell it, does it sell well? Is it a good location? But first and foremost, we were looking for things that actually mattered to us. When we were in the city, it always was an apartment with, always two times, with a big terrace because we wanted to be outside, and it has never been a big value for the locals, for Portuguese people to have a big outside space. But we never had issues renting our place out or even selling, because then there are other people who look for exactly this, and it's very hard in an urban area to find something with a large terrace, for example. So we had there some things that were really, really important to us, like here the river access. Of course, we have a praia fluvial, like a river beach, 1 minute by car away from here. But it's still different when we have our own and when we have this privacy and serenity of our own place. Is probably really, really depending on how people are functioning and what they are enjoying. I do think we are social people, but more in the sense of meeting friends at home, more like a chill vibe. I also don't like to meet very big crowds or very big parties. I enjoy like one-on-one time with a couple of friends. where you can actually talk. And there are other people who just enjoy parties, right? So they would be probably very happy at our river beach to meet half the village and to have a lot of chats. That's sometimes overwhelming for me. If you are considering moving to the countryside and all the factors feel good to you, I think you should not be afraid of losing the access to urban life, because most probably you will not miss it. That's what I can say about ourselves. And then it also depends on, maybe there is a lot of urban life in proximity if you don't mind to go, for example, by car, which goes much quicker here than it goes in the city. Driving in the city is completely nuts. Here it's totally fine. I don't love driving, but I'm okay driving here. Let me know where you are living. Are you living in the countryside or in the city? And are you actually considering coming to Portugal, or why are you here on the channel? That would be really amazing for me to know. And see you in one of our next videos. I'm also preparing a video about our fall garden. If you have any suggestions what we can plant in zone 9, I think we are in zone 9 here in Portugal, in the central northern Portugal. Let me know. What can I plant? I just have a booklet. I will show you in that video. But maybe you have more experience. That would be really, really cool to know. See you then. Bye. Baby. Vincent? We're going back home.